Hello, I'm Adrian Hyde of Adrian Hyde Photography, and today I want to take a very quick look at your in-camera metering modes and sometimes why they go wrong. But first of all, our camera will be in one of these shooting modes, either P, which is our full auto, S or TV, which is shutter priority, A or AV, which is aperture priority, and these are semi-automatic, and M for manual. Now, regardless of what shooting mode you're in, you will have an exposure, and that exposure will be made up of these three items, which is aperture, ISO, and your shutter speed. Aperture being the hole, shutter speed being how quickly the shutter comes up and down, and ISO is the film sensitivity. And for a good exposure on any of these here, those shooting modes, a good exposure will be at 0 here. Now that's what the camera thinks. Now the camera has an inbuilt metering. It'd be in one of three metering modes. It'll be in matrix. This matrix mode, it evaluates the whole scene, and it will take a calculation of it, make it to here, make it 0, and that will give you an exposure. We have center weighted. Now with this mode here, most of the information that the camera concentrates on is in the middle here. And we have spot, which is actually my favourite mode. Don't know why, just love it. Spot meter mode. Then that disregards everything in the whole scene apart from that one little bit there. So it's very accurate in what you want to do. So if we just take a scene here and here and here. Now, as your camera looks out to the world, it allows light in, and that light comes through all these little holes here, and your camera in this mode will take evaluation of all these and make little calculations, and from that, in full auto mode will give you that it's 0. Now in some situations that'll be perfect, but there is a but. What happens if we have this? Okay, we have this photo here, this dynamic range photo. Now if the camera in this mode here in full auto, it's going to read all of this here. It's going to read it all. And because your camera likes dynamic range, your dynamic range ranges from 0, which is black, 0 brightness, to 100, which is 100% brightness, which is white. And all the colours in between, it will measure all of these here. And every single one of these will be evaluated with matrix mode. Now, this is why sometimes the camera will get it wrong, because for a good exposure, it wants to get back to 50%, because if 100% brightness and no % brightness, you've got the two extremes. In the middle will be a good exposure as far as the camera's concerned. So if we have a scene like this, the camera in this matrix mode here will throw it off here, be all either underexposed or overexposed, whichever, it will be wrong, because every single one of these will be registering at 100%. So all this is 100% here, apart from this little bit here, which is somewhere in between black, which is 0, so very, very little percentage here. But if this is the bit that we want to be properly exposed, then if we choose matrix in full auto, it's not going to happen. But we can still have everything in full automatic because we don't fully understand how the shutter priority works or the aperture priority works or the manual works yet. We can still have it in full auto and still get this still properly exposed by using and choosing a different metering mode in metering mode camera. So in this case of center weighted mode, it may be better, but because our little bit here is off to one side, it's still 60% and then 20% either side. So if we put our focus here, it's still going to register 100% white all around here. It's going to take into consideration this little bit here, which is 20% here, which is going to take in consideration, which will make this a little bit better. So the exposure will be a little bit better. But the best one to use in this situation, if the camera is getting it wrong and not what you want, is the spot meter, because you can spot meter this and then reframe it. You could also spot meter this and reframe it, but this will be better. In this instance, it would be better, give you a better reading. So you can still, in spot meter mode, you can still have it on full auto and have what you want in correctly exposed. So I hope that helps, and until next time, I'll see you soon. Bye bye for now.